Okay, welcome everyone to Chapter 10, and this is week 11 of our course. And this week we are actually going to delve a little bit into macros. And running macros in Word is an interesting process. It's nice because it allows you to automate some tasks and some different things. So that's some of the stuff we'll be doing here. We're going to save our document as a macro-enabled template, modify the template structure, and then finally record and copy macros in the template. So you guys will get kind of used to some of that stuff. Let's see, fill-in field. It's kind of nice in Word to be able to do fill-ins for forms and so forth. So we'll see how that all works, and then we'll actually run our macro. So I think it's kind of fun automating tasks, but I know that word macro can sometimes scare some folks, not really knowing what it is, but I hope by the end of this you'll feel really comfortable. Also, this chapter, there are 2 independent projects, so there's no guided project. So we will actually be doing Chapter 10 Independent Project 10-4 as our guided project. So since you didn't see one of those, we'll just supplement it with this independent project. So here we go, and I've already got my instruction file. And resources, we do have resources this time, so I'll go ahead, and I'm actually in Chrome this time instead of Firefox. So I'm doing it a little bit different here. I'm opening my file from the download, and then it is in downloads, as you can see, so I'm just going to drag it over to my desktop, same as I do the other way. Get my resources in there, and then actually grab my start file, which I do already have here. So this is a fax cover sheet, so we're just going to be manipulating and doing some things with this cover sheet. So step 1, enable the document, and then save the project, or save the document. Okay, so file, save as. I'm going to do this the regular way the first time, and then we will do it the new way here. In step 2, save the document as a macro-enabled document. Type your initials, Word 10-4, choose Word macro-enabled document to save it. Okay, so we need to file, save as. I'm going to go back on my desktop. This time we are going to call it LW for my initials, Word 10-4, and then I am saving it, yes, on my desktop, but this time under Save As Type, I'm going to go to Word Macro Enabled Document. I want to make sure that we want document, not template, so we're going to Document and say OK, save. Now, in order to work on a macro-enabled document, you need to have the Developer tab showing, which I already do, but if you happen to not, then you'll need to look at the note, and it says to go to the Options, File, Options, and Customize Ribbon. And then over on these tabs you have different options, and I have the Developer tab already checked, but you may not, so you just need to check it and say OK, and your Developer tab will show up, and that's important for macros. Okay, so step 3, replace the picture in the content control field and resize the picture. So we want to select the picture. Let's see, so step 3A, select the picture in the picture content control field and replace it with the ARCC logo -10 from the resources link. So we have the content control field for picture. Okay, so if I click on this, it's a content control field for picture. So I'm going to replace it with, click on Change Picture from a file, and then I can go to my desktop, find my folder right here, ARCC logo -10, American River Cycling Club, insert. And so now I've got the image, and we want to select the picture and change the width to 4 inches, and the height automatically adjusts. So it's kind of small for me, but let's go to the Picture Tools Format tab, and we want the width to be 4 inches. So we'll go down to width, 4, enter. There we go. So it automatically changed the height, and now we can actually see it. Okay, so that was step B. Step 4, delete the Your Company slogan and comments content control fields. And it says, important to ensure accurate grading, confirm that the 2 fields are deleted before you continue to the next section. So we want content control field for Your Company slogan right here. And we'll just click on it and delete. Oh, sorry, we actually want to delete the whole content control field, so let's click on the actual little area with the 3 dots. Delete. There we go. Now it's gone. And I think what's happening here, or I guess in general, you can know that when you are starting from a Word template or something that they give you a basic idea, you can modify it the way you want. So essentially we're doing that. We're taking out our company does not have slogan, and we don't need the text that talks about comments, so we'll also delete that content control. Okay. Now in step 5, modify the tables in the template. So this whole template is in a table. That's how we get all of our nice grid lines, or all of our nice lines, I should say. So in step 5A, we want to turn on View Grid Lines so we can see the tables in the template. There are 4 tables. And I think I'm already there, but let's just go to our Table Tools Layout, and I already have View Grid Lines on. If I click it again, they go off, so you can see no more grid lines, and yes, grid lines. So we want them on so we can see what we're doing. Step 5B, select the first table and change the bottom border color to olive green accent 3. So we're going to click on, whoops, we have to be careful we don't actually select our picture. We need to go up and click on this table selection here, and then we want to change the bottom border color to, let's go to Design, and we can go to Borders, Borders and Shading, and now we can make our color olive green accent 3. So we have olive green here, accent 3. Click it, and I'm actually going to over here click right on this bottom border to change the color. This is kind of a nice option to change borders if you want to, add them in the other cells or the other walls of cells. So now you can say OK, and it has changed our bottom border to the right color. Now we want to select the second table and change the font color to black text 1. So the second table here, if we get down there and then click on the whole table, the colors kind of like they're placeholders, so they were these grayed out but colors. We can go back to our Home tab, and what are we doing? Changing the font color to black text 1. So we'll go to our font color, and we're black text 1 there at the top. You can see that it's made our text darker. Select the third table and change the color of all borders to olive green accent 3. So this is our third table. We'll click on it, and we want to go to Layout again. Sorry, Design. Get them backwards here and there, and we want to change all of these colors to oh wait, we can do, and I apologize, we can actually change the color from here too, so we don't need to, I'm going to that's just, never mind, don't listen to me. That's the style. So let's do it the way that I did it. There is no, well, there's probably a shortcut. This is a way to get it done. So we'll go back to colors, change it to olive green accent 3, and it changed all of our borders here, so we're good. We're applying to the whole table. We'll say OK, and it's changed all of our colors there. And the third table, within the third table, change the font color to black text 1. So we need to change that font color too. We'll go back to our font color, change it to black text 1. Delete the last 2 rows of the third table. So this is table 1, table 2, table 3. We're in the third table, and they want us to delete the last 2 rows. So this row and this row, we're just going to delete. Delete rows. Done. In the third table, delete from and type date. So we're changing this to date. Okay, we're leaving in the colon. And select the fourth table and change, sorry, I'm on step H. Select the fourth table and change the color of all the borders to olive green accent 3. Okay, so we're going to go down to this fourth table, which is this section here, and we're going to change our borders and shading to olive green accent 3. Okay, oh, and you know what, it didn't change it because I didn't actually draw the borders. Go back in there. Okay. Okay, so we've got our borders. And select the first row of the fourth table and change the shading color to olive green accent 3. So obviously this first row here says urgent for review, please comment, and so forth is out of place with the colors. So we need to change our shading, and we can do that right from here to olive green accent 3. Easy. Okay, and that was step I. So now moving on to step 6, use the following information to customize the fax template content control fields. So in the your company name, we'll click there and we will just simply retype over it. So we'll say Kelly Weatherby. Street address, P.O. Box, whoop, 4472. Oh, I need a space in there. City, state, zip. Nine 5841. Phone number. Fax number. Do you guys like to sit here and watch me type? And email, is that one of the things? Okay. And I don't know if it's going to mark me off for the capital K. It automatically does that when it's the beginning of a sentence, so I just went back and manually changed it. Okay, so that is step 6. Okay, so step 7. In the third table, insert the date to the cell to the right of date. Use the third date format and set it to update automatically. So I have my cursor there and the date, next to date. and I'm going to go to Home. Oh, sorry, not Home. Insert, obviously makes sense. Insert, date and time, and the third date format. Update automatically, and OK. So that put in the date. I'm obviously doing this Sunday, March 29th. So, okay, step 8, insert fill-in fields in the third table. And to the right of the 2, insert a field and type who's the fax recipient. So we will insert quick parts field, and really it would really help if at this point too you have read the sim book, knowing where to go for these content control fields. And also there are in the book, and I'll remind you guys of this, but while it's top of mind for me, in the sim book there are guided projects technically for, it's a 10-1, 10-2, and 10-3 guided projects to really figure out macros, and I do have the link to the student data files in Blackboard. So if you want more practice with macros, go there. Okay, so fill in, and we need our prompt to be who is the fax recipient. So this is telling the user what to fill in here. As the prompt, and fax recipient, who's the fax recipient as the prompt, and fax recipient as the default response to the prompt. So we'll click that and type fax recipient. Make sure I spell that right. And then say OK. So, who is the fax recipient and fax recipient? Say OK. And then next we're going to do fax. To the right of fax, we need to insert another fill-in field under quick parts field. Fill-in field. The prompt is, what is the recipient's fax number? Question mark as the prompt, and fax number is the default response to the prompt. Say OK and OK. And then to the right of pages, we're going to insert another one. And the prompt is how many pages, and pages is the default response. Okay, OK, and OK. Okay, so step 9. This is where we're actually going to record our button activated macro. And so again, macros, if you read your sim book, macros are going to be basically where you can automate a process by keystrokes or buttons, and it's essentially if you type a lot of text, the same text, you can instead create a macro where you only click a button and it will insert that chunk of text for you. So it's really nice for automation. But a lot of students struggle with macros and how they work. So really, in your sim book, there are instructions for a guided project 10-1, 10-2, and 10-3, and the data files for those are in the student data files that the link that's posted in Blackboard if you want to access those. We'll give you a lot more practice, and maybe you might want to look at them if you're confused here, so you kind of know what you're doing with macros. Okay, so we're going to create a macro named membership receipt and store it in the document based on your initials. Okay, so we want to start, we'll say record macro, and that'll just get our macro going. So we need to make a name, and it's membership receipt. And in macros, you need to have your words together. And we're going to store macro in this document, not all documents. And the membership receipt text is the description. Okay. And we want to assign a button. So it'll be a button rather than a keyboard shortcut, so we'll say button. And it brings up our button options. Add the membership receipt macro to the document. This is our project new macros machine. We'll add it over here. And then we want to, down at the bottom in step F, modify the macro button to use membership receipt as the primary display name, green square. Okay, display name we want to be membership receipt. And the color, let's see, we want it to be a green square as the icon. So there's two different options for green squares. I'm going to go with this one. Say OK. And now we have membership receipt with a green square as our macro button. Okay. Now we'll say OK. And now we're actually recording a macro, and you can tell that by up here we have pause recording, stop recording. Now don't get freaked out about recording. It's not recording your voice or anything else that you're doing, but it will record keystrokes. And the way that you can tell it's recording is you can see my cursor has a little, it looks like a cassette tape. I guess it's a little outdated, but that's how we're recording it with the cassette tape icon. So whatever I type from here until I push the stop recording button is going to be what my macro will contain. So be very careful when you type. Type your membership receipt is included with this fax, period. And now we want to stop recording. Okay, so that has recorded that text. Your membership receipt is included with this fax. Stop the recording the macro on step H. Delete the text you just typed and test the macro by clicking the membership receipt macro button on the quick access toolbar. Okay, so I'm going to delete this out. Test my macro. So now up here I have this green button that I created, and when I hover over it, it says membership receipt, and I can just click on it. Voila! I put in my information, or the text that I wanted. Okay, so delete the text inserted by the macro. So we don't need the text anymore because we were testing it and it looks fine. Okay, step 10, copy and modify a macro. From the macros dialog box, edit the membership receipt macro. Okay, so we want to look at the Visual Basic, because that'll kind of get us into the back end. Let's see, from the macros dialog box, edit the membership receipt macro, copy the macro text and paste it below the existing macro. Okay, so this is our macro. Right click, copy. Right click, paste, and I added a line so you could tell where my first macro was and my second macro. Okay, make the highlighted changes into the second one. So we're changing the word membership down here to the word Italy, Italy receipt, we're changing membership to Italy. Membership to Italy down here. Actually, nope, that's right. Select your title. Okay. Your Italy trip receipt is included. So instead of your membership receipt, it's your Italy trip. So I'm guessing that this person who puts together these fax cover sheets is often sending them to say either membership, so the membership to the cycling club, or the Italy trip receipt. And so she or he doesn't want to keep clicking on or typing the text. So now they can just push a button for one or the other, and then this text will be inserted. So up here too, you'll notice that Italy receipt has been changed in this drop down as we've gone through. So now we have two options, Italy receipt and membership receipt. So we'll stay on Italy receipt because we're down on the second macro. So we want to save the macro code and close and return to the Word document. So we will save the macro, close this out, get back to our document, and then step 11, customize the quick access toolbar for the Word 10-4 to add a macro button for the Italy receipt macro. So now we want to do the same thing, but we want it to be well, we already have the macro created, so now we just want to customize the quick access toolbar to put in a blue square instead of a green square. Is that what we want? Blue square, yes. So we'll go to File, and we will go to Options, Customize Quick Access Toolbar. We already have membership receipt in there. This is going to be a macro. Wait, choose commands from. I always forget this. Choose commands from. It's actually up here. Macros. Then that'll give us our options. Okay, we want the Italy receipt. We're going to add it. And now we're going to modify that one to be, first of all, a blue button, because that looks more blue to me. And then we'll change the display name to Italy receipt. Okay. So, okay. So now we've got a blue button with Italy receipt. We'll say okay. So now we've got a green button and a blue one. We're going to test our Italy receipt macro down here, and instead we're going to click there, and we've got your Italy trip receipt is included. Or we've got, I'll delete it, we've got our membership receipt by clicking the green. So again, if you find that you type certain text over and over and over, it's really nice to have a macro enabled. Okay, so we want to make sure that this says Italy receipt macro before we save it. So I'll save, close the document. Oh, I guess I've had some stuff. Okay, we'll upload and save. Hopefully I saved my document. There we go, 10-4 macro enabled file. Oh. You know what? I skipped a step. I got a little ahead of myself. I need to save it now as a not macro enabled document back to a regular one so that, let's see here. So that I can get back to, here we go. Because I am in a macro enabled document, but for uploading in step 13 we need to make sure that it's a docs. So this file, save as, desktop, Got this. I'll save it back to a Word document. Save. We'll say OK. Macro free, that's fine. Now we should be able to upload. See, we've got our macro enabled and our not macro, and you can see that one has a little bit of a different icon. Okay, we'll see if this works. Alright. So hopefully you were as successful as I was. Again, the guided projects in this series are all optional, but if you struggled with this, and especially if you struggle with the next independent project, I would suggest you go back and do a step-by-step guided. And I may try to work on getting that one up later on this week, but I want you guys to try the guided projects yourselves first and see if you can do it. So I hope this made sense. I hope macros make a little bit of sense. It's really just automating, putting in chunks of text. If you think about it that way, then it's not so scary, and actually kind of fun, I think. Anyway, okay, so one more chapter and then we'll be done. Let me know if you guys have questions. Thanks. Have a great day.